Good morning students. Today in the zoology class of class 10 we'll discuss about the ecosystem and its components. That means session 2 chapter 15 we'll discuss about the ecosystem and its components. What is ecosystem? You know, in the class lower section also you know what is ecosystem. But today we'll discuss again because you should know about the to create an awareness toward the environment this chapter again. Because without this, if the environment will be destroyed by you, by our people, without the proper knowledge of them, then what will happen? It is a very dangerous for the survival of the human beings, not only the other species also. So that's to create an awareness. You should again and again you should know about the ecosystem in a more and more upper level. Because otherwise not able to create any interest. If you know any develop any interest or knowledge, then what will happen? It will be dangerous for our not only life, other species life also. Because unknowingly we do something, we never thinking about the environment. That's why environment chapter everywhere present in class 10 also, the higher secondary also, and degree also. Okay, then will anytime you get conscious to develop the consciousness. Okay, now again you see previous chapter in session 1 discuss about the environment and its component. Now about the ecosystem and its components. What is ecosystem? You know, that means in a specific area, in a specific environment, only specific plants and animals can survive in that. Why? Because you know the interaction of living and non-living materials. Interaction of that, those animals will able to survive for their proceed their reproduction also. Their generation and their reproduction should also continues. Then they will able to stay in that environment. And does it form a ecosystem? Systematic arrangement of different type of living organisms in an environment. By interaction of both living and non-living, both biotic and abiotic components. It's called as an ecosystem. Biotic means what? All living organisms. Starting from the lower, different type of plants, green plants, living organisms, and also different type of species, smaller to larger, those are present in the environment. And non-living are what? Abiotic components. Abiotics are what? Sunlight, okay, air, water, soil, temperature, everything. Those are very essential to process their life cycles of the different type of species. It may be plants, it may be no. To process their life cycle, that means their respiration, excretion, reproduction, it should be continuous in that environment, in that temperature. We know that specific temperature is needed. Specific air, specific, all should be specific in a environment. So interaction of that, it will form the ecosystem. So ecosystem main two components. One is what? Biotic, another is the abiotic. Biotics, all living animals, all living plants, okay, and another species also living those they will form the what? Biotic component. Abiotic means what? Non-living, suppose air, water, soil, temperature, okay, everything abiotic component. So interaction of which those species will able to survive in a specific environment, it will form the ecosystem. Systematic, there is a systematic. You see that what is the system is here? There always will be the systematic is what? Producers should be present. Because producers are one nothing but the green plants. Those can prepare the food from with the help of sunlight and provide energy for that other living organism present in that environment. So plants are the main source of the energy because it produces what? Food with the help of sunlight by the process of photosynthesis. So plants also different type having in an environment. In a garden you see grass also present. Then another is gradually increasing their size. Up to that level, those are survive, they can survive, grow on that environment. According to that, different species also. You may say the insect also, you will able to frog also, you will able to larger animals also in that environment. Yes, so what will happen? That is a systematic arrangement. Because one existence, it helps to other to survive. That's why they will able to survive in that. In different ecosystem, you will able to see that different species can survive. So if you type of ecosystem, actually two type. One is what? Terrestrial, one is the water or aquatic. Terrestrial, they are also different. Terrestrial means those land living. They also define different type of ecosystem having. Desert ecosystem having land ecosystem, different type of ecosystem, grassland ecosystem. So different type of land living you may see the different type of system. And water also, there are two type of water aquatic system. One is the fresh water, like the pond ecosystem having river, and other those having waterfalls, they are those having ecosystem, they are also ecosystem. And marine salty environment, those can survive, they are also environment different. Okay, so what happened? Define environment, define ecosystem proceed. That's why life is able to going on, life cycle going on, reproduction going on. That's why defined species able to survive in this world. Simple example: main factor was biotic abiotic interaction. Those are able to survive. They form the ecosystem. Components: biotic and abiotic, living, non-living. There, what main factor, if you see that present, there should be always what? Producers, green plants. They can produce the food. They also, not only food, also oxygen also prepared, and carbon dioxide also taken by them in the preparation of the food. Those are eliminated by the animals. Secondly, you see consumers. Consumers means what? Though consume the producer as their direct, and though depends on the producers for their food, as a food, because plants prepare the food by the process of photosynthesis, and that food energy goes to the plants. Then when they will eaten by the consumer, and the energy goes to the consumer level. Those direct takes, someone indirectly takes. Okay, suppose in a desert, in a forest ecosystem, forest, there you see different type of plants according to the different animals also present. Suppose green plants are taken by the deer. Direct takes, these are those takes only the green leaves. These are called the herbivorous animals. These are the suppose deers, and deers eaten by the carnivores like the what? Tiger, lion, lizard. So energy goes from the deer to the tiger level. But these are consumer because they are not able to produce. The consumer also different, like the omnivores who takes both, jackal, etc. Those are who takes both. So what will happen? Their producers, consumer also different level. Who's their primary consumer, who's a secondary consumer, and tertiary consumer, and different. After that, what will happen? Third level is a decomposer. That means when the body is dead, there those inorganic matter they will again convert to organic matter and mixes with the soil. So when they mixes with the soil, again return back to the soil. So again new plants will grow. Okay, so that's the cycle is going on. Simple example, you may see the grass, their paddy field. If you see the paddy field, they are able to see the producer of the what? Paddy plants. Paddy plants, green leaves, they produces the energy with the help of sunlight. Carbohydrates. So these are eaten by the what? Primary consumer, firstly taken by the grasshoppers. Grasshoppers again taken by the whom? Frog. So energy goes to the frog. These are the consumer, primary consumer, grasshoppers, secondary consumers. What? Frogs. Again frogs are eaten by the snakes. Yes? Then also next snakes is again eaten by eagles. So after that when they will dead, the microorganism decomposes it. They are those materials inorganic form they are present, they combine the organic form and mixes with the soil. That's why again plants will grow. So producer, consumer and decomposer, these 3 points, 3 factors, 3 steps. Okay? 3 parts you will able to see in an ecosystem. Biotic abiotic factor interaction, they will able to survive, but there are also 3 levels. Producers should be present, consumers, consumer defined their primary, secondary, tertiary may be present defined level, but and lastly the decomposers. Like the if that means terrestrial environment defined, but terrestrial another forest also see I would say terrestrial those having, and water aquatic if see some pond ecosystem. They also you see the pond, there is a water environment, though they are cold-blooded animals and others those able to survive in the water, they can only stay. Their shape size also different other than the terrestrial. So pond ecosystem there what will happen? Water environment, their producer nothing but algae or those phytoplanktons, greenish plants, those can produce the food. Some directly depends on them, suppose small fishes, zooplanktons, those having directly take the food. After that, there you see they are taken by larger fish, secondary consumer, like that tertiary consumer. After that, when they will dead, decomposes it and mixes with the soil. So different level, different their cycle going on. Different energy transmit from one level to another. So main factor what in an ecosystem, producer should be present, consumer, and finally decomposers. And in the interaction of living and non-living or biotic, abiotic components, those can survive, those can grow, those can reproduce, they can survive on that environment. So that's why different type of ecosystem is present. Pond ecosystem, marine ecosystem, okay? Different ecosystem, different animals, different shape, size, their process, different biological activities going on. Okay? That's why we don't disturb it. Another factor you see that you should not, that they can stay in a specific ecosystem. Their reproduction in a specific temperature, their increases, their shape, size, all are they can stay in a specific environment, a specific ecosystem, their life cycle can proceed. Okay? They are not able to stay in another ecosystem because they are fitted on that part. Their reproduction going on. Their shape, size different. So that's why we should not disturb it. We should not distract it by unknowingly. We should not be distract the species because it will hamper the others also. If one species goes down, then it creates a problem to other also because their existence is very much essential for the survival, for the continuation of that ecosystem. Okay, because there is a link having, interaction having between them, biotic abiotic interaction. That's a living organism. Okay, so that's all about this system, ecosystem. Okay, what is ecosystem and its components. Okay, and if you see there any problems you have, you may see the book also. Any problem may arise, you may ask in the doubtling classes. And another factor you see there in the session 3 on the food chain and food web. And if pandemic situation, syllabus consists to up to 15 food and health. So next session 3, I think your chapter, your course, so you finish in the zoology part. And any problem you may have, you may ask in the doubtling classes. Okay, thank you. That's all.